the president is very dismayed with American allies. He's putting a lot of pressure on them. He wants help from them when it comes to the Strait of Hormuz, which Iran essentially has at a standstill to oil traffic going through there, oil traffic that doesn't really pertain to the U.S., but it does because that's how oil is priced. It's a global pricing system, obviously, and it's affecting the U.S. But he's frustrated with American allies.
Numerous countries have told me they're on the way. Some are very enthusiastic about it, and some aren't. Some are countries that we've helped for many, many years. We've protected them from horrible outside sources, and they weren't that enthusiastic. I just want the fake news media and everybody else to remember that that was said, because I've been a big critic of all of the protecting of countries, because I know that we'll protect them. And if we ever needed help, they won't be there for us.
All right. Our reporters are at the White House, Tel Aviv, and New York. They've been listening to the president's remarks. They're covering all different angles of this. I want to bring in CNN's Elena Treen first at the White House. Elena, what stood out to you based on what we heard there?
Yeah, I think really touching on exactly what you just played from the president was really the most notable to me, this idea of his disappointment. And he used that word specifically, Omar and Brianna, to describe the countries, and particularly the NATO allies, that he says are not coming to the United States aid here and trying to help reopen the Strait of Hormuz. I thought, what we heard of him actually yesterday is very much the same kind of threat we're hearing today. It's almost this ominous warning to countries who do not get involved here to send warships to escort these tankers, which is very dangerous, I should point out. We've heard that now from many top military, commanders and whatnot. But this dangerous, helping in this dangerous mission of trying to send these warships to escort these tankers through that very critical Strait of Hormuz. At one point, he said, I think we're going to have some very good help, and I think we're going to be disappointed with some countries, again, getting back to that point. But one thing that very much was clear, and it was a bit clear from that clip you played, is that he continued to talk about this idea of how he's always thought of the NATO alliance almost as being more beneficial for other members than it is for the United States. At one point he said, I've said for years that why aren't we being reimbursed for what the United States is doing in the Strait of Hormuz? He kept saying, I've been saying that for years. He brought up this point that he believes that when these countries need help from the U.S. is willing to help them, not necessarily the other way around. One thing I do want to be clear on, though, and just some context to all of this, is what has been so interesting about the president calling on these countries to send these warships to help reopen the strait is that this is the first time